decent number of them say there are so many issues on the trains today. It really is difficult getting down here on public transport, but there's a good, I reckon, 300, maybe 350 of them away to our right-hand side. Just to this right-hand side of the goal, there's some black netting stopping the York City fans from going directly behind the goal. So they're towards this far corner. The game gets underway. Southend take the kick-off, and Nuhasin gives the ball straight to Ryan Fallowfield, who wears the York City captain's armband this afternoon. Not a good first touch there, though, from Dipo Akinyemi. The ball gets away from him, and Southend are going to get the chance to come forward. Right in the centre of the defence, they have it with Ollie Kensdale. He sends it across the left-hand side to Nathan Ralph. He sends it forward down the left-hand side, but Danny Waldron, his touch lets him down, and that goes into touch, and that'll be a York City throw in their defensive third, level with the edge of their own penalty area. Former York City striker Ian Dunn is with me at one of, I think, both of our favourite away grounds. Absolutely,
yeah. I'm just glad there's a good contingent of City fans have managed to get down here, regardless or despite all the issues on the railway lines this weekend. So yeah, they'll give their team the support they usually do.
City come forward down there right. And Akinyemi's hurt himself over there at the same time as giving away a foul. He jumped into the Southend United centre-back. He's now pulled to his feet. The referee's over there, make sure he's okay. He is, and this will be a free kick now. Just outside their own penalty area for Southend. Colin Dendi, the Italian goalkeeper, comes out of his penalty area. You're looking at me a funny look there when I said he was Italian, Ian. He is Italian in his all green kit. He sends it long down the left hand side, picked up by Cardwell at the edge of the York City area. Wanted too much time though, and McLaughlin manages to sweep the ball away for York City. Finds, oh, that's a bad tackle, is it? Surely a free kick on Dipo Akinyemi on halfway. It is a tackle from behind. He's very fortunate, I think, the Southend man, not to get a yellow card there, Ian, because that looked like a nasty tackle.
Yeah, I'm you know, the big advocate for not every foul is a yellow card. He's come through the back of Dipo Akinyemi. He's left him on the ground. Right, yeah, I'm surprised the referee. It's one of those, isn't it? First couple of minutes.
Callum Howe's had a word in the referee's ear to say, how is that not a yellow card for Nathan Ralph?
In the 63rd minute, that's a yellow card. So the rules are the same for 90 minutes, or they should be. I get you got to be a bit common sense with certain things, but that was a nasty tackle on Dipo Akinyemi for me.
To rake him down the back of his Achilles. Yeah. But he is now back to his feet, and he's going to be fit to continue. Throw into York City. Didn't even give the free kick, the referee. Wow. He's watching a different game to us. Yeah. To be fair to him, he's nearer than we are, but that looked like a nailed-on free kick and yellow card for the Southend defender. Nothing given. No. Ball goes through, looking for Will Davis. Goalkeeper's able to come and gather. Goalless here on BBC Radio York. Southend playing out from the back, as they will do for the majority of this afternoon. Lost the last two, Southend United. That is why they have dropped to just one place above York City in the National League table. Level on points with them, of course. You do have to take into account they did have the 10 points docked at the start of the season. Had they been given those 10 points back, they'd be, instead of 17th place, they would be up in 9th and just 3 points outside the playoff positions.
It's amazing what those 10 points, the difference that makes, isn't it? It positions in the league sort of at stake.
It's only really this last few weeks where people have been taking notice of that. When Southend got away, Waldron down this right-hand side. Good tackle into the York City penalty area for Amos. Great tackle from him, actually. And he finds McLaughlin having his shirt pulled. Somehow has managed to get away from the man. There is McLaughlin. He plays it long down the left-hand side, headed clear by Southend. Yet it's only in recent times that people have really been noticing Southend's plight and their fall down the National League, now that they are just outside the relegation places.
It is, yeah. And they've just had a couple of bad results, haven't they, recently? But I don't think that makes them a bad side. They just maybe had a bit of a wobble.
Well, they've lost the last two. They've lost 3 of the last 4 here, being beaten by Gateshead, Barnet and Bromley. So all teams that are up there.
Yeah.
But generally they've performed quite well against the teams in the bottom half of the National League, but maybe have struggled against some of the better sides.
Yeah, I mean, all the things they've been through over the last 18 months as well. How Kevin Mayer's kept this team, competitive. Never mind, a decent outfit. Is astonishing work.
Ball goes straight into touch from Sykes Kenworthy there. Can be a throw in far side of the ground to Southend United. I'm delighted to say Neil Ardley is back on the touchline in his blue coat. Now that Tony McMahon has served his 3-game touchline ban. So Ardley not involved in the pre-match warm-ups. He can observe from the sidelines. Looks pretty suave down there in front of us.
Yeah, the coat's back.
Coat's back, the gel's back in the hair.
Yeah, standard footwear is there with the white rim on the bottom. My favourites.
Southend come forward down the York City left. You can hear the fans getting involved. We reckon really probably 6,300, 6,400 is the expected attendance here today. So there will be a decent atmosphere between these two former Football League clubs.
Yeah, it's just a classic stadium that will produce that atmosphere, won't it? It's fantastic to be similar to Hartlepool. That atmosphere was.
They come forward down the left. Bridge gets across into the box. Well, good header clear from his goal line by Amos on this far side. Only fouls a blue shirt on the edge of the area. Forced wide is Miley. He gives it back to Hussein. This far right side. Now back into midfield it comes. Cross into the York City box. Flicks off I think it came off number 10. Waldron's head, it did, and it goes through to George Sykes-Kenworthy. Ebbsfleet with a very early lead at Chesterfield. That's a shock scoreline, and not one that York City supporters will want to see. Rakish Bingham right down the bottom of the National League in the relegation zone. Ebbsfleet leading at Chesterfield. Early kick-off, if you missed it in the Premier League, Manchester City. They had to battle hard, but they did end up seeing off Everton with two relatively late-ish goals at the Etihad. Both of them, of course, coming from Erling Haaland. His first goals since he returned, I think. Are they his first goals since he came back?
Yep. Yeah, it's just his second game back, I think, isn't it?
Southend have it on the edge of their own penalty area. Still goalless here. Played forward down the left-hand side. Callum Howe gets his head to it. Challenging midfield from McLaughlin, and it falls to Morton. He comes across this right-hand side now to Scott Morris. He plays it down the line. A little ball over the top crooks with the white headband on, covering that cut that he picked up last week. Gives it back to his goalkeeper. It bounces. The ball bobbles across, and then Sykes-Kenworthy completely miscues his clearance. And he gets it. He almost slipped it over the top of his foot and sliced it out for a corner kick. He's managed to find it just the right side of the corner flag for his and our team here. And it's a throw-in deep inside the York City half to Southend, which they take quickly. They've gone short. Back it comes to Scott Morris. Can put a cross in, takes a nick off the York City defender and goes onto the roof of the stand. That will be the first corner kick of the game to Southend. And it comes in the 7th minute, 0-0.
Yeah, just a little bit of pressure being applied by Southend here. Opportunity from a corner. I don't know about you, David, but there's a huge metal pylon right in front of my view of about the penalty spot, so.
Excellent. I look forward to you describing what happens here.
If I drop any real clangers today, you can correct me straight away.
Bridge has come across to take the corner kick. Jack Bridge raises his right arm. It's going to be an outswinger, and it comes now. It's a deep one. Good header in the centre of the penalty area, headed away by Will Davis. Back out helping his defence. Now back it comes to Bridge. Bridge tries to get across in. Good block comes in. Akinyemi back there too. He clears. As far as Kensdale, the big centre-back who wasn't pushed forward for the corner kick. Now the left-hand side, they come forward. Cav Marley gets past his man on that left-hand side. Gets past Alex Woodyard, who started his career. 3 years he had at Southend United. Alex Woodyard, but only made 15 appearances in those years. And actually, his second of those 3 years, he missed the whole season. Didn't play once. Cleared again from York City from a cross into that York City penalty area up to halfway, and it's picked up again by the home team. They recycle it at the back. It comes across to Kensdale. Kensdale to the right-hand side to Scott Morris. Amos closes him down. Now they go forward through the centre of the field looking for Cardwell. He wins the header easily. Tries to send it out to this near side to Danny Waldron, but he's not going to be able to reach it. Adam Crooks does, and uses good strength as well. Oh, and the referee's penalised Crooks right in front of the lines when he kicks his flag down, and the referee, is a good 25 yards away, has given the free kick to Southend off the back of the home fans protesting.
Felt like 6.5 a dozen. Yeah, Adam Crooks and the Southend striker were both battling for the ball. I can't see how there's a free kick.
Not a free kick
given there.
That's not a free kick.
And it's in a dangerous area. Southend put the right ball in.
Right in front of the linesman, who was completely unmoved.
Didn't make a decision. The referee 25 yards away made the decision, so City need to defend this properly.
Free kick about to come in, and it comes now into the middle. So Sykes-Kenworthy makes a flap at that, got two hands to it, tried to punch it clear, and just flicked off the top of his hands, went directly up in the air, and he's very fortunate that then as it drops, he's able to catch.
He's got away with one there, George Sykes-Kenworthy, but he's gone to punch, and it's almost come off at an angle, and it ended up going back towards the goal into the sky.
Nervy start by the York City goalkeeper.
I was just going to say, Southend have certainly settled into this game quicker, David, than York City at the moment.
Well, he will not be used to playing in front of attendances like this. Quick from Bradford Park Avenue, you're lucky if you get 300 to come and play in front of 6,000 home fans. Free kick and into the area, and York City have scored. And no, it's just wide a goal. Oh, so close. It came in from Amos. Free header at the edge of the area from Akinyemi. He looped it towards goal. The goalkeeper dived, didn't get there. And it looked from our angle as though it was going to go just inside the post. It's gone just past it.
It was the most wild attempt. He tried it. He tried it. He tried to loop the keeper. I thought he'd gone in, to be honest.
He thought he'd scored.
Yeah.
And so did we. It was just past the post from Akinyemi. So close to York City taking the lead, but it remains goalless.
There was a deafening silence here at Rousseau with the Southend fans thought it was a goal as well, I think, from this angle.
Another goal to tell you about in the National League. In fact, a couple of goals. Dagenham have taken the lead against Oxford City, who are starting to look a little bit dead and buried at the bottom of the National League. And Halifax have an early lead at Dorking. That is a decent scoreline for York City. Of course, Dorking coming up to the LNER on Tuesday night. Again, you'll be able to hear on BBC Radio. York McLaughlin does well to turn away from his man in the centre of the park. Oh, there's a late tackle on him. He managed to skip out of that. City keep hold of possession at the back. Woodyard gives it to Smith. Smith down the line, over the top from Fallowfield. Has broken the offside trap. No, he hasn't. The linesman's flag goes up belatedly. Can't be much in it though, Ian.
There wasn't. For a second there, I'm thinking, has he got a was one here? But it looked like he was so free and so open that, yeah, could only have been offside. For a fraction of a second, I thought Fallowfield had sprung that trap. Not to be.
Now they've got the free kick deep inside their own half on the left-hand side. Look how far up on this near side Scott Morris is. The right wing back. He's playing up against Amos and against that York City back five as it is when they're defending. Pushed really, really high up as the wing back here for Southend United. They've gone down the left instead. The other wing back, Jack Bridge, is pushed out, gets it near the corner flag, gets a cross in, cut out of the near stick by Callum Howe. Straight back to Kensdale though. He bursts forward, now sends it back out to Bridge on the left-hand side, just outside the penalty area. He's going to run at Fallowfield, comes infield on his right foot, goes back into the centre of the park to Morton, gets it back down the line. No cinch, just keeps it in play, stops it going out for a goal kick, just got it on the left-hand side of the penalty area, then goes back to Jack Bridge. They're trying to eke out an opportunity to get this ball into the box. Bridge still got it at his feet, tries to get it in now, and it's blocked by Fallowfield, falls back though to Bridge, and then the little push in the back of him. I think that one was. It's a soft free kick over that far side. Will Davis gives it away, and that will be a chance again for Southend United to send that ball into the York City penalty area.
Yeah. City getting a bit of a test here. They're going to have to stand strong because Southend can sense that feeling you have at a game when you're there, and you can sense something's about to happen. Hopefully City can be stronger than that, keep this Southend side at bay just for the next, during this period of pressure they're having.
Bridge, and it comes now from the free kick into the centre of the goal, and this time it's well gathered by George Sykes-Kenworthy.
Yeah, that's what you need your keeper to do. Just when you're feeling the pressure, keeper comes out and grabs the ball out of the air.
York City fans are separated by about 2/3 of these stand behind the goal away to our right-hand side, and then a couple of blocks to the far side, and yet there's a row of stewards at the edge of the York City fans beyond the matting, so they'd have to get beyond the matting to get to where the stewards are now. And it's the same for the Southend fans at the far side. They've got two sets of matting and two empty blocks all the way around, and another row of stewards. We were amazed by the amount of stewards that are at this game today when we arrived.
Yeah, it's a strange one, isn't it? 'Cause I don't think either side's renowned for its
I don't know if they've got off the back of maybe some of the reports what happened at Hartlepool, but they're everywhere as stewards here today. And now York City have come forward down the right, and they've won a free kick not far from the Southend United penalty area. You imagine this is where York City will have to try and make something out of if they're going to claim all 3 points. In it comes now, it's driven in. Akinyemi's offside, it's just wide, the header from him, but the offside flag went up immediately. It was drilled in by Amos. Burgess was over there for an out. I imagine it would have been one of the floaty outswingers that he puts in, but Amos absolutely drilled that into the near stick. Akinyemi easily won the header, but again he drifted offside.
We haven't seen one of those free kicks for a while, have we? That's big plus points for me from Danny Amos straight away. He's whipped that in viciously with his left foot.
Southend playing out from the back once more to Bridge on the left-hand side. It's in a lot of the ball is the wing back. Now the long ball down the line by Nathan Ralph. Sykes-Kenworthy comes out of his area to clear, and he's clattered into by Harry Cardwell. Cardwell is going to be spoken to by the referee. You hear the supporters in front of us saying he's going to get a yellow. I don't think he will. The referee, first of all, is checking on George Sykes-Kenworthy, who will, I think, take a few seconds to get his breath back and maybe try and slow the game down a little bit. The referee is just saying, no, the physio doesn't need to come on. Neil Ardley is shouting out instructions at Deepo Akinyemi. Not happy with Deepo. The York City manager. It's not the first time we've seen him having a go at the York City number 9 this season.
No, I think he's just demanding more from him. He knows he's got so much ability, and just got to work hard as well. You're going to match that ability with working hard, and the manager wants his strikers to work hard. He demands it. You've got to have the strikers that work hard.
And he's not gone into the book. He has had a quick word with Harry Cardwell, though, and told him no more. But I think the striker's got a challenge when the goalkeeper comes out of his area like that.
He's entitled
You'd
to
have been
go
challenging,
for the
wouldn't you? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sykes Kenworthy in all pink. Long. Looking for Akinyemi, headed away. Only as far as Woodyard, headed away again by Scott Morris for Southend United. And then it's missed by Will Smith. Fallowfield sweeps up for City and goes back to his goalkeeper, who's been given the countdown, a bit of the bird from the Southend United fans down that right-hand side as he clears Long onto the head of one of the centre-backs, nodded back by Woodyard just outside the penalty area. Akinyemi picks it up. Now he gets on the left foot, takes on a shot. Blocked immediately. McLaughlin gets his head to it. Woodyard, little dink over the top. That's going to go through to Ndengendi, and it does. And it remains goalless here on BBC Radio York, 15 minutes into this National League game between Southend United and York City.
Yeah, I think City in the last 2 or 3 minutes, David, are just finding their feet a little bit. Hopefully I speak too soon, but Southend had that little burst between sort of 5 and 10, 12 minutes, but City just found themselves getting back into this match.
Well, we heard Neil Ardley before kickoff say he knows they try and come out quick here.
Yeah.
And it is about staying in the game sometimes, that first 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Making sure there's not too much damage done, if any damage.
Yeah.
You'd have to say, so far, so good for York City, with George Sykes Kenworthy not having a real save of note to make in that opening 16 minutes as it is now.
No, we've defended everything that Southend have thrown at us. We've defended pretty well so far. Cardwell
goes to ground again. It's a very minimal nudge. There was a nudge though by Fallowfield on Cardwell, and now the referee wants to have a word with somebody here. What's he saying? He's saying there's a little bit of blood on Will Davis's shirt. So City are going to be temporarily down to 10 men.
Well, I'm not sure where the blood's coming from. It's not Will Davis's blood. So
need a new kit. Oh, it's the best of the business. Kit man needs to.
The whole thing.
It is. It's his skins underneath, the white skins that he's got it on his arm, isn't it? So I don't know if he's got a cut on his arm. The blood's come through.
I think it's a cut on the arm, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Kit man finds a new shirt. He's going to be the unnamed, unnumbered man. Is Will Davis. Free kick comes into the York City box. One at the near post by Southend, and it goes onto the roof of the net with the little flick header. Some of the Southend fans in front of us thought that was going in. This time we had a better angle of it, and it goes just over. They almost got a goal on his debut there, did the striker, Danny Waldron. But thankfully for York City, he goes onto the roof of the net.
Sorry, I'm just watching Will Davis. His change of kit, so he's had to take his skin off, his chest monitor, his top off, and I just obviously had to put them all back on. It's a job, just getting dressed.
You know what, it was just his skins, wasn't it? So he's been able to actually put on his shirt. He's had to have a new skins.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you have to, after 20 minutes, wouldn't you be warm enough to be playing without the skin now?
Well, yeah, I suppose, but
he's the only one who's wearing one. Everyone else has got bare arms, so why can't Will Davis? Maybe he feels the cold a little bit too much, as poor Will. He can't play without the skins underneath.
I have to say though, when he took his top off, he's well ripped. It's a specimen of looks like a proper athlete. So
that is bizarre. They've had to waste time there because he wanted a new skins to put on underneath his top. I've never seen that before. Yeah. I'll be honest, I'm surprised Neil Ardley let him get away with it. Well, City conceded there because they're down to 10 men because he was wanting to change his skins.
I think nowadays players, if they've got to feel comfortable, and they have all the power in that respect. If you want to wear gloves, you wear them. Back in the day, you were frowned upon
your
wearing
friend
gloves.
Mr. Warner would not have allowed him to stay down there and wait for a new skins to be brought out.
No, I wouldn't have even asked him. He wouldn't have even. No chance.
Ball goes into touch on this near side directly in front of us. We're at the back of the main stand here at Southend, just behind the York City dugout, but a good 15 rows back from the perimeter of the pitch, inside a nice old-fashioned commentary box. Indoors, it's lovely and warm in here. City come forward, McLaughlin whips it just the edge of the penalty area, then he's pulled down, is he? No, he's dived, he should be booked.
Yeah, he has dived.
He has, he may well get booked, Paddy McLaughlin, when the ball next stops. It's a pretty poor effort to win a free kick. I think he thought he was going to be clattered into, and he threw himself to ground just outside the D. Ball comes across to this near side to Scott Morris. He comes forward down the line. Kensdale, Crowther back to Scott Morris. Then he comes down, it's a good ball to the box, and that's a good take from George Sykes Kenworthy.
Yeah, it's come. That first one, the punch went a little bit wrong, but his last two have been superb takes from George Sykes Kenworthy, because that's a dangerous ball in. Landed right on the penalty spot, and It's great to see your keeper come and collect.
The referee's just having a word now with McLaughlin. He's going to get away without the yellow card.
He's going to, referee's, to be fair for both sides so far as yellow cards go. Because I thought Paddy could have been in trouble there. It was a clear fall.
Woodyard gets his head to it. McLaughlin does well. Turns it on the top. Over the top. Akinyemi flag goes up. He's trying to play on the shoulder, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't mind that as well.
Three times he's been caught off now.
But we're putting the ball in. It's as if, hey, this is the next stage of attacking. You've got to put the ball in there for them to run onto it. And if you get off the offside, fair enough. There'll be times where it'll be frustrating, but at least we're trying to do the right thing, and that is getting the ball forward and getting the ball into the opposition penalty box.
And I think that was why Neil Ardley was questioning Akinyemi before. He should be able to time these runs a little bit better.
That'll come. It'll come. Yeah, football's such a brutal sport at times because the striker hasn't had much to feed on for the last 5 months. So they get desperate and they try and steal a couple of inches. They try and steal a couple of places. And
Goal in the Premier League at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Tottenham 0, Brighton 1. A Pascal Gross penalty. That's the first goal in the Premier League in the 3 o'clock kickoffs that I've spotted so far. Free kick to York on halfway, sent forward to the edge of the penalty area towards Callum Howe. He's beaten to it in the air. McLaughlin puts it back in, and it goes all through to goal. He has to dive to his left-hand side. It wasn't going in. He didn't know it was going just wide of goal, and he palms it out for a York City corner. That was speculative from McLaughlin. It wasn't the shot. I think it was a cross that he overhit, and it almost caught the Southend defence out.
It did. The keeper actually had to pull off a reactionary save there.
Do you think he was going wide? He didn't know the goalkeeper.
I think it was going. Yeah, it was going wide, wasn't it? But he only saw it very, very late minute, I think.
Yeah, it wasn't a shot either. It was a cross that had gone wrong, that almost produced something for York City. And now they have their first corner. Amos is across there with Burgess. Burgess is told to go away by Amos. So he's going to be an in-swinger with that left foot. What can he do with this? I imagine this might be whipped in as well if it's anything like the free kick we saw a few minutes ago. And it comes now from Amos. It's more of a drifty and loopy one though, and it's a deep one. It's too deep, and Woodyard has to come all the way across this near side and stop it from going out of play for a throw. And he does. He gets there. Now he's going to try and get it in from this near side. Comes in field, and he does manage to get across into the box. It's a deep one. Again, a York City man goes to ground. Will Davis, he went to ground. I think the referee's got this one spot on. Again, Will Davis was looking for the penalty. He dragged the Southend United defender down, tried to make it look as though he'd been dragged down, but I think the referee's spot on, and he gives the free kick to Southend. Yeah,
I think maybe Will Davis was being held by Noah Hussin there. But you're right, Dave, they're both holding each other.
And now Noah Hussin has been told to come over here, and I think have a new shirt or have something done. So I imagine the blood is coming from Noah Hussin that was found on Will Davis's arm. It is. And Kevin Marr, the Southend United manager, not happy with the referee for insisting that Noah Hussin comes across. It's a cut to his lip.
Yeah, there's not much blood there, but obviously enough for the referee to...
Isn't it bizarre though, in a contact sport, any blood and you have to change your shirt, you have to come off. Rugby, don't matter if the blood pouring all over everyone, you're allowed to carry on. What's the difference?
No, I think you've got to come off.
Rugby union, you don't.
Oh, wow. Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
You watch the Six Nations today, someone will have a cut, they will not have to come off. You can play with a bloodstained shirt.
So, medically...
You tell me. Sharon's saying it's different. I imagine Sharon's talking about rugby league in the studio. That you have to come off.
You thought medically, if it's a problem, it's a problem, isn't it?
You would have thought
for
so.
all sports.
You would have thought so. Alex Woodyard goes long for York City, looking for Akinyemi. He can't control it. Goes through to the centre back to Crowther, and he clears into the centre of the park. And now it falls nicely as they come forward to Waldron. Needs some help up towards the edge of that York City penalty area. Woodyard gets back, does really well for York City, wins the tackle, gives it to Amos, he gives it to Howe, back to Woodyard, and City are going to clear their lines. Good defending by York City. Crooks, not a great clearance, slices it, and then Akinyemi's penalised for tripping Noah Hussin, who has had to change his shirt, and now he's the man with no number on the back of his shirt for Southend United.
I think Noah Hussin has still got his shirt on, David. I think that's the
so it's Nathan Ralph, isn't it?
Yeah, Nathan Ralph,
on that far side.
Yeah, it's interesting about the blood on shirt thing. So it's yeah. How can it be right for one sport and then not another?
Very strange.
What happens in cricket?
Cricket, you can play with blood on your shirt, I think. I've never seen anyone have to change their kicks. They've got...
What about a tennis player?
That's a little bit different.
Sorry.
Long ball forward, as you know. Headed clear by York City. Akinyemi can't get there, but did enough to put some pressure on the Southend defender, and they give it away.
It's good.
Now it's through to Akinyemi, 1-on-1, through on goal, centre of the park. Akinyemi, great tackle came in. We wanted too long again. Did Dipo Akinyemi, and the referee says that's a goal kick. It's got to be a corner kick, surely.
No, do you know, I might have seen this wrong. He was put under pressure by the defenders. He took too long.
Akinyemi's not claimed. That's a terrible miss from Akinyemi. He's put it well wide.
I think the defenders, his upper body strength just knocked Akinyemi slightly. Not enough to give a foul away, but then Akinyemi's shot was totally skew-whiff. And he shot it wildly wide. I think as he was pulling the trigger, he's got a little bit of a nudge. Do you imagine top body?
Dipo Akinyemi, the first 2 or 3 months of the season, would have buried that. Support clearance from the goalkeeper to Fallowfield's in down the right-hand side. One-on-one, tight angle. Ryan Fallowfield couldn't get the ball over his feet, and then he falls over. But into the middle it comes. Akinyemi getting shot. Will Davis, great save by the goalkeeper. Back out to Fallowfield. Puts a cross in, cleared by Southend. Edge of the box. Woodyard takes the shot, and it's into the top tier of the stand. 2 or 3 great opportunities for York City in the space of 30 seconds, and they've not taken any of them.
Huge chances for the away team there for York City, and it all came from the goalkeeper's error. It's a terrible kick. I don't know what he was doing, to be honest. He's kicked it straight to Ryan Fallowfield. He's made up 30 yards there. It looked like a poor cross into the ball, to be honest, from Fallowfield, but it caused problems.
He slipped, didn't he? Almost a fresh air kick as he tried to cross it in.
Southend were all over the shot.
He dillied and he dallied. He got in. It was sort of like if it was a defender, like, I'm not supposed to be in this position. Through one-on-one.
Yeah. Should I shoot or not? Not was the answer. But after that, there was 2 or 3 opportunities there for York City to probably score.
Yeah, nosebleed time that was for Ryan Fallowfield. That's what it looked like as Southend go long, and it goes behind for a York City goal kick. There's a little bit of a collision there as well between Waldron and Crooks, who's gone down.
Waldron pushed Crooks. Crooks fell to the ground, and then Waldron, he didn't mean to. I think he stood on the back of Crooks' calf as Crooks was down on the ground. The referee's not going to do anything about it. I don't think it was intentional.
No, and he's going to be fine. I think is Adam Crooks doesn't require any treatment. Just pulls his sock down, shows everyone his bright pink shin pants that match the colour of George Sykes-Kenworthy's kit, and then gets pulled back to his feet. It's a goalless. It remains, but it shouldn't be 0-0. York City should be in the lead.
Yeah, that's a really good. A few chances within one there.
Got to take one.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, but it shows that there's weaknesses at that Southend defence. It shows that York City should encourage York City that, hey, if we attack them, we might just make some opportunities.
McLaughlin does really well in the centre of the park and then spoils it by a sloppy pass down this near side, intercepted by Southend. They put it into touch and halfway. Neil Hardley gets to show his nifty footwork as he gathers the ball. You heard the York City manager before the game talking about Roots Hall and how it could do with a bit of repair work. Well, one of those places that could do with a bit of repair work is the scoreboard on the stand that houses the York City fans, because it's not working today. Not sure how long that's been out of action, but that needs a few batteries replacing or something doing with it as Southend come forward down this near side with Hussin. Gets across into the York City box. Sykes-Kenworthy comes and gathers in front of Cardwell.
Yeah, good goalkeeper from Sykes-Kenworthy. He was never really under threat. It was a lovely little ball in from Hussin. Sykes-Kenworthy was always favoured to win the ball. But he did it well, do you know what I mean? He just did it, the simple thing. He got it into his body. Good little confidence builder for the young lad.
0-0, 28 minutes gone here on BBC Radio York. That Dorking game we mentioned earlier on Tuesday evening, the first of a number of Tuesday night games for both York City and Harrogate Town. There's going to be football, I think, on virtually every Tuesday for the next 4 or 5 weeks, with York or Harrogate or both teams in action. York playing the next couple of weeks, then I think they have a week off, and then they've got another couple of weeks with that AFC Fylde game being rearranged for the start of March. Harrogate Town have got some massive games coming up as their push for the playoffs continues. That's on DAB today. They're taking on the strugglers Colchester United. It's goalless in that game. Colchester now managed by the Cowleys, who came so close to coming to the LNER last season. Long ball downfield from City goes out of play, and that'll be a goal kick. Down that left. You were giving me a look there, Ian. What was that all about?
Was that official? That were they on the brink?
Well, there was enough interest that we were asked if we saw them at a certain game, and we thought they were going to go to not mention if we spotted them. So that's good enough for me.
Yeah. Interesting.
Down the left-hand side it comes, and that's from one goalkeeper all the way through. to the other.
I think ultimately, hopefully, we've got the right guy in charge right now.
I think we both agree we have. Down the right-hand side comes City. Southend get it, and they clear long onto the head of Callum Howe into the centre of the park. Nicholson turns away from his man. I don't think they did actually come towards York in the end, but there were certainly conversations took place down that far side of the ground. Southend have it into the middle. Long diagonal cross-field ball to this near side to Scott Morris. He sends it into the middle, headed away, and then cleared by Adam Crooks. I think we'll be happier to be back into that centre-back position rather than sent out to this left-hand side. Yep,
I'd agree, and I think Adam Crooks is a fantastic player. Ultimately, I could see him in that 4-4-2. It's who would miss out at that point when Neil Ardley gets the formation that he really wants.
Cleared, and it goes into touch for a Southend United throw-in halfway inside the half that York City are defending. Neil Ardley waving down here at a couple of players, making sure his side is set up well defensively as the throw-in's taken. 0-0. Southend have it, everyone back behind the ball, bar Dipo Akinyemi for York City. Across this near side it comes for Miley. Miley gives it to Hassan, now to Scott Morris. Down the line it comes. It's Ralph, isn't it, who's come across this near side. A little link-up play between Scott Morris and him. Edge of the York City penalty area. Cross comes in. Oh, that's a miscued clearance from Ryan Fallowfield under no pressure into the centre of the goal. Shot's about to come in. Is it from Miley? Who's in over the bar? It goes via a deflection. Very, very fortunate there, York City. That could have gone absolutely anywhere. I think it was Ralph in the end who had the shot. And again, it clips the roof of the net and goes into the empty stand behind. Yeah, that was dangerous. That really was. I think Ryan Fallowfield at the far end of the penalty box there, so he's got his clearance wrong, put the ball back into the box. And City live to fight another day, but yeah, that could have gone anywhere, that ball from Ralph. Corner kick, far side. Southend, their second, and it comes. Punched away by Sykes Kenworthy right underneath his post and bar. Now City do clear their lines, headed across back to that far side. Akinyemi's there, and he just belts it clear on the volley and reaches halfway. Comes back again though. City again, that's not the greatest clearance by Smith, but he's fortunate to find McLaughlin. McLaughlin sends it out to Amos on this left-hand side. He can come forward if he wants to, over halfway. Decides to go into the centre circle, gives it to Woodyard. Woodyard back to Amos. Amos, long diagonal ball, headed clear. Cushion header, but straight to Woodyard from the centre-back Crowther. Now to McLaughlin down this left-hand side. Tries a little ball down the corner, round the corner. Davis can't get there. Southend are able to clear. They clear long, and it's over the head of Harry Cardwell. And Sykes Kenworthy hopes that this ball's going to have enough on it to get back to his penalty area. It doesn't, and he has to clear hurriedly from the middle of his D. Scott Burgess, I think that's the first time we have mentioned Scott Burgess as he puts that ball, a sloppy pass straight into touch on halfway. He has been peripheral, I would suggest. Yeah, not seen much of Scott Burgess so far in this match. Time yet for him to make an impact, obviously, but it probably shows you the direction of travel really for most of the match has been. I would maybe go as far to say that could even be Scott Burgess's first touch in. I honestly do not remember mentioning his name. You might be right. You might be right. And we've played over half an hour of this game at Roots Hall. 33 minutes, still goalless between Southend United and York City. Southend have it at the back. Into midfield, I'm hearing Liverpool a goal upon Burnley. Diego Jota with that goal. Back into the centre of the park it comes to number 17 Cav Miley, the playmaker for Southend United. Now it goes to Ralph at the back. Again into midfield to Miley, picks it up deep and runs forward all the way up towards the edge of the York City penalty area, then sent it out wide left. Bridge, little back here around the corner. Hussein gets across into the box, flicks off the York City head to a blue shirt. Scott Morris, his control lets him down, and City are able to scramble it clear. The blue shirts pick it up again, and that's a poor touch from Woodyard. Does well to retrieve the possession. Made up for his poor pass there and gives it to Crooks under pressure. Manages to find Amos. Puts it up to Trusty. He does, just runs off his foot, Amos. First thing he's done wrong really for York City. First game, first start in over 3 months as well for the man who's on loan from Grimsby Town, but he's done all right so far apart from that little error. Chesterfield have equalised against Ebbsfleet 1-1. Will Grigg with the goal in the National League and another goal in the Premier League. Luton 0, Sheffield United 1. Cameron Archer with the goal for Sheffield United at Kenilworth Road. Scott Morris takes the throw in to the byline. City defending their penalty area. Back to Scott Morris, tries to get across it. It does. Headed away by Callum Howe at the near post. Good header into touch on this near side. Throw in about to be taken right in front of all the York City supporters that are amassed in the 3 blocks of seating they've been given.
He's certainly on fire, isn't he?
Will Grigg.
Yep. He's
still scoring goals.
Yeah.
Proves that you can go for experienced players at this level. They will produce performances. York City have come a cropper with that in the past. That's probably explains why Neil Ardley's going for these younger, more energetic new signings, and that's poor from Scott Morris under great pressure from McLaughlin. Runs that straight into touch. He gets a little high five to the Northern Irishman, Adam Crooks, and he does well, and that'll be a York City throw-in.
Getting a bit leery, is it?
0-0. About to be cleared down the line. What's going on here now? Oh, Sykes Kenworthy's gone down. We're 35 minutes in. We're back to Neil Ardley wants a word with his players, Ian. Right on cue.
Yes. Is this the
Sykes Kenworthy's gone down off the ball after
35 minutes stop? Yeah, everyone get a drink.
Yeah. And here comes everybody.
Yeah, literally getting a drink, a quick chat. Kevin May taking advantage of this as well.
Yeah.
Maybe take it in turns, managers. Because we have a couple of times George hasn't had to go down, has he? In the last couple of games, it's been the opposition player that's gone down in the 35th minute. It seems to be a thing.
It's most definitely a thing. Yeah. I think we know it's a thing.
Yeah. It is, isn't it? It's
yeah.
It's so obvious. I bet the referees they might even be in on it.
The word must get around.
Yeah, yeah. 35 minutes, almost every game, there's a stop. The stoppage is usually the goalkeeper.
To be fair, opposition don't really seem to mind about it either, do they? It gives them all a chance to come across and talk to their managers.
We beat them to it.
It's like a timeout now.
You might find it was Andeng and D had gone down, you know, in the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, let's have a timeout. 35 minutes gone. We've still got 10 minutes to the break. Everyone fancies a drink.
Yeah.
We can have a few words. No one's got anywhere to be tonight.
Except a train back home.
Yeah,
to
it'll
catch.
be a long journey. It remains goalless. Chesterfield have turned it around. They now lead Ebbsfleet by 2-1. Armando Dobra with the second goal for Chesterfield.
That's what good teams do, isn't it?
DAB Harrogate Town still goalless against Colchester United. Throwing down the line over the head of Will Davis. Scott Morris trying to win a free kick. The referee says no, it's just a throw-in. Goalless as well. Scoreliners, they give away possession on that far side to Southend, and Fallowfield can come forward. Come back to the latest scores in a second. Fallowfield then tries to play it down the line. Poor pass from him, intercepted, and then he fouls at Jack Bridge, not Wayne Bridge, as he tries to come forward. The referee will have a quiet word, keeps his cards in his pocket, but says that's his second foul, Ryan. One more, and you might not be so lucky. In the FA Trophy today, goalless between Peterborough Sports and Kidderminster Harriers. That game is of interest to York City supporters because the next round is on the weekend when York City is scheduled to go to Kidderminster at the start of March. So if Kidderminster get through today, York City's trip there on, I think it's the Saturday the 5th of March, the first weekend in March, would be postponed. That'd be yet another Tuesday night that York City would be in action, and a weekend where there would be no game for York City, which I think Neil Ardley would not want. But was always the risk when he played that team at Nantwich. City got knocked out of the FA Trophy. As I said at the time, it's not just about them taking precedent over league fixtures, so we're better off out of it. You're still relying on the teams you're supposed to be playing being out of it.
I remember you making the point. It's a good point. You know, we can be out of it, but we're going to miss games and then have to catch them anyway. So yeah, that was maybe a little bit of a strange one, that one. Thanks for bringing that back up. I'd forgotten all about Nantwich.
Fulham have got a second against Bournemouth. Rodrigo Muniz with that goal. Sheffield United have got a second at Luton. James McAtee. And Huddersfield, what's happened to them? They're now winning at Southampton, who are unbeaten in, is it 23, 24 games?
Unbelievable.
In the Championship, still goalless here, though, between Southend and York City. York City should be leading. Given away by Woodyard to the blue shirts, and they come forward. They've got numbers forward. Across this near side, it goes to Waldron in the penalty area. Great defending by Crooks. Got in front of him and gives it back to Sykes Kenworthy, who's able to clear up to Will Davis. Controls it on his chest. Tries to get a free kick again. He needs to up his game a little bit, Will Davis. He just try and win free kicks, but he's not particularly good at...
No,
how can we say... I don't want to say play acting, but...
Just a little bit naive, maybe.
He is. When he tries to do it, it's too obvious that he's trying to do it at times. Southend come forward down the left-hand side. Trying to get across into the boxes, Bridge. He does manage. It's a deep one, headed clear by Amos. Going to be picked up again by a blue shirt on this near side. Scott Morris Scott Morris gives it in field to Crowder. Now it comes back to the centre-back. Back to Scott Morris. Little ball around the corner, looking for Hussin. Crooks comes across and then hits the back of Amos. Amos plays it into touch fire deflection for a York City throw in deep inside their own half. 0-0.
Yeah, Will Davies is just, it's still a learning curve for him. He's come from a much lower level, and he's learning his trade here at York City. And he's been thrown into the deep end. We're expecting big things of him because he looks, potentially wise, he looks like a good player. But there's just the little bits he's going to have to, be a little bit smarter.
Woodyard clears for York. That's going to be allowed to go into touch it by Kensdale. It is Ollie Kensdale. The ball goes into touch on this near side. Former Colchester man. It's a throw in to the home team. They take it down the line, looking for Cardwell. Cardwell gets caught under it, but City give away possession. Moving it across from right to left of the home team. Still just got it at the back, trying to pick out a pass. Is Ollie Kensdale. Down the left-hand side. Sin gets it near the corner flag as well. Under pressure now from Woodyard. He's fallen to ground and the ball's got stuck between his legs. Somehow the referee's decided that's a York City free kick with the ball right next to the corner flag.
Yeah, he must have a good view of that one there. I'm not sure how.
He falls down on top of the ball. It's 6-1, half a dozen the other. And I think he probably just thought, you know what, Alex Woodyard just going to keep hacking away at his ankles here. If I don't give a free kick, so I'll give the free kick to the defending team. Yeah,
happens so often, doesn't it? To us as well.
It certainly does. City taking their time over there. He's been told to get a move on. He's Sykes Kenworthy. This is Scott Burgess still, and I mentioned that once. This is his 50th appearance for York City today. Across the two spells, of course. The lone spell he had 3 or 4 years ago.
His stats this season have been super on paper, statistically.
Well, he's still only got the 1 goal, which he does need to improve, and the 8 assists.
Yeah, it's not bad. But I expect you want a little bit more from him as well, though. He feels sometimes a little bit brushed off the ball a bit too easily.
But he's not involved at all today.
No, he's not.
He's not. That might not be his fault.
No, he's still running around. He's marking number 23. He's following his man. He's putting the effort in. But yeah, the ball hasn't fallen to him. Has he gone and demanded the ball yet? Probably not either.
Will Davis caught offside there. Cardwell will take the free kick, and then Cardwell drops deep and lays it back off to Kensdale. Kensdale in the centre circle. City again just happy to let the centre-backs have it, having all 11 back behind the ball. Now it goes out to the left-hand side. Deep cross into the York City penalty area all the way through to Sykes Kenworthy. 0-0.
One thing I would say about the Southend defenders, David, they're all very comfortable on the ball. They're keeping it quite nicely, being patient in their build-up.
McLaughlin tries to turn the Southend defence and feed it through to Akinyemi. Well cut out though by the centre-back, and themselves. McLaughlin sold himself there, and then Waldron sold himself as well. The through ball was on. It was a poor pass, and it goes again through to the York City goalkeeper.
Yeah. Again, that's Adam Crowther there, bursting through, running through York City's midfield. Really, that's a centre half. If he got his pass right there, City would have been in all sorts of problems.
Sykes Kenworthy with a couple of minutes plus injury time to go. Clears long, flicked on by Will Davis. He can't keep it in touch though. Throw in for the home side, just outside their own penalty area, far side of the ground. Throw in about to be taken down the line by Ralph. Looking for Cardwell. He wins the flick on. Can't link up though with Waldron. And City lose possession. Woodyard not happy that they've lost possession, and that is good play from Cardwell to find Scott Morris on the right. He comes up to the edge of the area, puts a deep cross in, finds the head of Harry Cardwell, who got away from his man, free header, and he couldn't direct it towards goal, and it goes wide and it remains goalless. Yeah,
again, Southend are getting out to the flanks quite well, really, and the ball's coming in. It is a good ball in. They're not a million miles off being troublesome for George Sykes Kenworthy, who dealt with most of them so far. Harry Cardwell just getting his header wrong there. It did come in last minute, but another half a chance for Southend.
City clear. Davis finds it and it falls to Burgess. Burgess down the right hand side. He plays it down the line to Akinyemi just outside the penalty area. by the dead ball line. Akinyemi back to Burgess, tries to get a cross in, hits off the defender. Fallowfield just loops a foot at it, and it goes high into the sky, and is easily gathered by Ndengendi. 0-0. It remains as we approach half-time. AFC Fylde have taken the lead at Eastleigh in the National League. That's another side sitting just beneath York City that are leading this afternoon.
A big game in March, isn't it? The Fylde game has been rearranged for.
Crowther wins the header against Akinyemi, then comes off Amos. That'll be a Southend throw. He wants the throw in. He's not happy. He's having to go at the linesman, but we right in line with that. We could see we had the perfect angle to see that came off Amos last.
Yep, he did. Yeah, and City just got to defend this.
And Neil Adley's not happy with the decision, but I think he's spot on. There's only 2 minutes going up on this board in a minute. Scott Morris with the long throw into the York City penalty area. Flicks to the header. Callum Howe into the middle. Ralph shot. It's the arms of the goalkeeper. Very, very fortunate. Should have buried it. 5 yards out, centre goal. He just swung his left foot at it, and it sliced off the top of his foot and just looped kindly into the arms of Sykes Kenworthy.
We've got away with one there. That did. I mean, he's just got it wrong, hasn't he, Ralph? The ball as it's landing, it's in the 6-yard box. He's missed it.
It was a defender in the 6-yard box who just couldn't contact properly with the ball. To the nosebleed territory for him. City clear their lines through Will Smith. Into touch it goes at the far side. How come there's only 2 minutes of injury time, Ian? What's all that about? There's more than 2 just for the stoppage of Sykes Kenworthy when everyone came in.
Yeah,
there's been 2 changes of shirts.
Yeah, 2 minutes. Unless he had it on at the end of the game.
Here's the referee here. Callum Walchester. Maths isn't his strong point. Liverpool 1, Burnley 1 in the Premier League. Dara O'Shea with the equalising goal for Burnley at Anfield as Akinyemi flicks that one on to nobody in particular. And Southend, they're going to be able to clear down this near side. Into touch, York City throw in on halfway. I imagine they're in no rush to take. No, they're not. Amos is going to slowly wander down this touchline to go down and get the ball. Crooks has come to it. And Adam Crooks says, I might as well take this. Let's crack on, boys. Down the line it goes. McLaughlin gets his head to it. Cleared by Southend with a big up and under. Waldron's not going to get there. The man who was also making his first start after signing the striker from Rushall Olympic last month. It's a bit of a jump up for him from Rushall Olympic, and I imagine playing in front of relatively small crowds to coming here and playing at Southend in front of over 6,000 every other week. To the centre of the park, he's cleared by Southend. Woodyard trying to put pressure on the ball, and the referee says we're not even going to have to. We can't believe it, Kevin Mardon there. The half-time whistle goes. It is Southend United 0, York City 0. Scott Burgess not happy with somebody down there as well, putting his arms out wide and having a word, I think it was with Alex Woodyard or Adam Crooks, as the York City and Southend players start to make their way from the field. City should be leading, I think we can say, in the 3 gilt-edged chances. Akinyemi, Fallowfield, Will Davis, all within about 30 seconds of each other. Somehow at the break, it is 0-0. We also have to say Southend, they could easily have scored as well just before the half-time whistle. It is goalless. Yeah, it's been a decent. Both teams have had a couple of half-decent chances. I think they hopefully think that in the second half it'll explode a little bit more. But yeah, it's been a decent performance considering we're the away side, and no one really fancied us today. I think City have put in a good performance so far. Can we do it in the second half? Yeah, so far so good. Just lacking that clinical, that cutting edge in front of goal, Sharon. If they had, City maybe could be leading this game at half-time, but they're not. It's goalless between Southend and United at Roots Hall.
Thanks, David. Thanks, Ian. More, of course, to come in the second half from that game here on BBC Radio York on both FM and online. Elsewhere today in the Six Nations, we're going back across to York City in just a second. In the Six Nations, Scotland taking on France at Murrayfield. France are now ahead by 17 points to 16 in that one. England take on Wales a little later this afternoon. 4:45 is the kick-off there. So with the teams coming back out onto the pitch then at York City, or Southend I should say, let's get across to that one. Once play starts with Harrogate Town's match against Colchester, we will pick up the commentary of that one on DAB. But for the time being, for all frequencies, let's go across to Southend and get the start of that second half with Ian Dunn and David Ward.
Yeah, thank you, Sharon. Both teams are out. We're now just waiting for Sammy the Shrimp to make his way off the pitch here. Sammy the Shrimp, that's a fantastic mascot. Excellent. I'd love to see Yorkie the Lion here as well. That'd be interesting. Yeah, he's not here today though. Sammy's not. He's in no rush. He's waving to the three sides of the ground that have the Southend fans in as he dawdles off the pitch here with all 22 players ready to get the second half underway and the officials. But we have to wait for Sammy.
We have to wait for Sammy. Yep.
He's now departed.
He's gone.
So we can get back underway. There are no changes at half-time. So York City line up like this: Sykes Kenworthy, Crooks, House, Smith, Amos, Fallowfield, Woodyard, McLaughlin, Burgess, Davis and Akinyemi. The home team: Anding and D, Ralph, Kendall, Crowther, Scott Morris, Bridge, Morton, Miley, Hussin, Cardwell and Waldron. On the bench for York City, who are playing from left to right towards their own supporters at the start of this second half, and they have an thrown in an attacking position. On the bench for City, Cordner, John Lewis, Barnes, Batty, Chadwick. For the home team, Wood, Dackers, Funguk, Sandat and Demetriou. Will Smith comes across, gets the ball and has an opportunity to launch it long into that Southend penalty area after just 30 seconds of this second half. And it comes now. It's a loopy one over the head of Howe into the penalty area, and it's cleared off the penalty spot by Southend United. Time, if you want Harrogate Town commentary, they are at home to Colchester United. Goalless in that game too. They are now ready for you on DAB. Ball's played back to his goalkeeper. That's not a great clearance again by the Italian for Southend, and it comes in the centre of the park. And now Alex Woodyard has a new shirt on with no number and no name on the back, so he must have got some blood on his shirt at some point in that first half. The referee spotted as they were walking off the field, and now he has a new shirt. It's just completely bizarre. I was doubting myself at half-time about rugby union, but I had a look. And they are allowed to carry on rugby union. Yeah,
that's really strange, really strange. Surely the medical profession would be sort of consistent in that all sports you'd have to, especially contact sports, if one has to do it, surely the others do.
There's so much in this world it doesn't make much sense here now, I have to say.
That's one that's right up there with me, certainly from a sporting sense.
Southend have it in the centre of the park. Through the centre circle, they come forward. Marley, that's a good ball through to Waldron, but he can't control it. City get it back, and Sykes Kenworthy, not for the first time this afternoon, slices his clearance across that left-hand side, and it bounces into touch for a throw into Southend United, and immediately Gus Scott Morris signals long and tells everybody to get in the box. So that's where this ball is about to go. 0-0 BBC Radio York, 2 minutes gone in the second half. Yeah, this is going to be launched into our box here, and City must defend it with a decent first half performance. Can they build on that in the second? And it comes now, it's flat into the penalty area, flicked on to Cardwell at the near post, and on the turn, the edge of the 6-yard box. He can't direct it towards goal, and it goes into the Southend fans behind that goal and remains 0-0.
They've managed to keep Harry Cardwell relatively quiet. As you know, I rate him really highly as a striker. Good work rate, a real threat, but he's not really got into this match yet, and I think that's got to be kudos to York City's defence for keeping him quiet.
Yeah, he's another player, though, Ian, that if he didn't pick up injuries so regularly, he could quite easily be playing at a higher level. Harry Cardwell.
I'd agree, yeah.
Ball forward to York City. Will Davis is penalised in the penalty area as he fouls the defender. He takes on the shot after the referee's whistle, pulls it wide of goal. Could have been given a yellow card for kicking the ball away. He knew the referee had blown his whistle. The referee allows him to get away with it.
Yeah. Well, decent refereeing.
Yeah, I think so. You've got to be careful, though, doing things like that.
Yeah.
I think if it had been the other way around, we wouldn't have been averse to the home team being shown a yellow there. Bridge plays it into the middle of the park to Cardwell, who has his heels clipped by Woodyard, and the referee gives the foul. Centre of the field, just left of centre. He was shooting towards this end last year in the league game when Southend won 2-0. They got both of their goals. Around the halfway point of the second half, if I remember correctly. Miley stands over it. Cav Miley, former Eastleigh midfielder. Been here for a couple of years now. Kevin Marr bellowing out instructions down there. Neil Ardley leaning back against the wall at the front of his side's dugout beneath us. They've sent it out wide right of Southend to Scott Morris, and he manages to dig out across into the middle. Oh, he's won a free header at the next stick, and he's put it wide of goal. What a chance that was for Nathan Ralph, who'd gone forward. He got in front of his mark, I think it was Callum Howe, and he's put a good yard wide of goal. He hits the target, Ian. The home team take the lead. Yeah,
and we're just repeating what we said in the first half, David. The delivery from that right-hand side in particular is fantastic. You know, George Sykes Kenworthy's come for a few, he's managed to get on any of them, but that one was just about the best ball in I've seen this in the game so far. And you're right, if it hits the header on target, it's in the back of the net. City got away with one.
Sykes Kenworthy clears, flicks off the head of a Southend defender, almost comes across to Ryan Fallowfield on this near side. And Ralph, who should have scored, puts the ball into touch for a York City throw-in. Ball boy's up off his little seat down there on the track at the side of the pitch, runs after it, throws it down the line quickly for Fallowfield so he can get the game back underway. Takes the throw-in to Burgess. Slightly surprised that he's come back out at the start of the second half. Scott Burgess on the periphery of things in that first half, not really involved in the match so far this afternoon. You may say it's not his own fault, which is probably a fair thing to say, but he wasn't involved. Why does he need to get himself more involved on days like today where it's just passing him by?
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? It's a little bit of both, really. He needs to do more. He needs to demand the ball more. Or is he doing the job that Neil Adley wants him to do? Because he's working hard, he's chasing and harrying, but he's getting nowhere near the football. But he's putting effort in. Just want a bit more from him. I think that's just the end. Ultimately, just need a little bit more from him on the ball.
Smith clears for York into the supporters right in front of us here. They want the ball back immediately, and they get it. Bridge gets ready to take the throw in. Fylde have got a second at Eastleigh. Nick Horton with that goal. Fylde currently now above York City in the live National League table.
That game's getting ever more important, isn't it?
They're all getting important for York City. Hussein comes forward. He dived. Yes, well played, ref. He tried to win the free kick off Will Davies there. Made out there was a foul, and then McLaughlin's foul, and the yellow card's out. Yeah. First time this afternoon.
I think the referee got it right, both of us.
I agree. I think the referee did get it right both times. And Ralph goes into the book. Yep, there was definitely contact between Davies and the Southend man, but he did throw himself to the ground, clearly looking for the foul. I think it was the way he threw himself down that the referee decided, no, I'm not giving you that. And as the ball broke into midfield, it was a late tackle on McLaughlin. And the referee, I think, was right to get the yellow card out.
Yeah, no, he's had a fairly consistent game, the referee. We can moan with them when they're terrible, but he's been not too bad.
Wolves have equalised against Brentford in the Premier League 1-1. Dawson with that goal, Craig Dawson. Hamilton Academical 2 down now, Ian, in Scotland. Another one of your many sides.
Unbelievable. Annan. Who knew Annan had a football team? No disrespect. But no.
Dagenham and Redbridge have got a fourth against Oxford City in the Effiong with that goal for them. Southend have it at the back, goalless here as the rain starts to fall for the first time this afternoon. Long ball downfield, looking for Bridge, who's got around the back of Fallowfield. Bridge keeps it in play near the corner flag, comes back into field. Still got it, as Jack Bridge. And goes into the middle to Hussein, turns away far too easily from the York City man. And then the referee has pulled it back for a free kick. When he put the cross into the box, it was looking dangerous. York City may have cleared their lines, but the referee's pulled it back. Interesting decision. They may have wanted the advantage there, Southend.
Yeah, I mean, the advantage was really for York City there, wasn't it? He's given the free kick and brought the ball back, but the ball in to York City's box was a decent one. So,
well, however, if the York City don't concede from the free kick.
Everything feels dangerous right now, doesn't it? Any ball, free kick around the area.
And it comes now, driven in by Morton, headed clear to the edge of the box. Shot comes in again. Miley has his shot blocked. They have it again at the back with Morton. Everyone in that is half of the field that York City defended to Hussein. Hussein tight on this left-hand touchline. Little back heel to give it to Bridge. Bridge has got Davis. Oh, skips away from Davis really easily. Bridge into the area, and then that is a foul. Clatters into the back of him, Will Davis. That's a silly, silly free kick to give away, and he will go into the referee's notebook for that.
Yeah, that really was. Yeah, again, just showing that naivety of playing not this level of football. Will Davis there. I mean, that's right on the edge of the box, and he didn't need to make the challenge, David. He was, the Southend player was going into York's defenders. He was going nowhere, and he's given them a real opportunity here, which I hope City don't pay for. But
it's a free kick just left of centre. It's about 4 yards outside the D. You would imagine it is the perfect distance.
It is like the perfect positioning for a free kick if you've got someone that can take a free kick.
They've got someone wide left. If they just want to send it down this left-hand side, no one's gone for York City. Neil Adley's telling somebody to get out there.
Neil Adley's screaming
and they're completely ignoring him.
But you should see that on the pitch anyway. He's in acres. Woodyard has finally gone over, but no
Scott Morris, right-footed, and it comes. comes, flicks off the top of the wall. I think it was heading towards that top corner. It's lucky it flicked off the top of the wall. It goes behind for a Southend corner kick.
Yep, the wall's done its job there fantastically well. Just noticed that Woodyard hasn't got a number on the back of his.
Yeah, I was saying it. He come on in the second half.
Yeah. The blood's done the rounds.
Corner kick then. You can hear the home fans getting more and more involved as this second half progresses. It's a deep one from the corner. Good header clear by York City, by Davies. Going to come again though from this left-hand side. Bridge has got it. Akinyemi puts in a tackle. Bridge goes to ground and he wins the free kick. Akinyemi's not happy with the decision, but I think again the referee's got it right. Free kick taken quickly. Yeah. And there was a little push in the back of the York City defender there by Waldron, spotted by the referee. That was silly by Southend. Free kick to the away side.
Yeah, that was silly by Waldron. He's just as Southend were building up a bit of pressure there, they've managed to give City a free kick.
Ebbsfleet have equalised at Chesterfield. Ben Chapman 2-2 in that game. Liverpool now lead Burnley by 2-1. Luis Diaz with that goal, and Oxford have got a goal back. You have to imagine it's a consolation. They're trailing 4-1 at Dagenham. Jacob Roddy, the midfielder, with that one. 0-0 though, here in the game that we're watching at Roots Hall between Southend United and York City. Good header clear by Callum Howe. Woodyard then heads clear straight to a blue shirt, falls kindly for Howe. Tackle on Howe. Good tackle on Howe from Cardwell. Now Southend come forward down the right side. Waldron, great tackle from Crooks over that far side, and it's a throw in near the corner flag for Southend United. City almost caught out on the break. Yeah,
Adam Crooks again being that last man and sort of last line of defence, timing the challenge to perfection. A throw in for Southend, but really good defending from Adam Crooks.
Throw in far side of the ground then. I think Bournemouth have got a goal back at Fulham, 2-1 in that game. And it comes now. Long throw from Southend. It's the penalty area, headed away by Crooks at the near post. There was a little push in his back. Referee spotted it. City given the decision. Marcos Senesi with the goal for Bournemouth. Here in a fifth goal now for Dagenham and Redbridge against Oxford City. From our colleagues alongside us at BBC Essex. Here, Josh Rees with that goal. Luton have got a goal back. The former York City striker Carlton Morris. Luton Town 1, Sheffield United 2. The latest score in that one. Huddersfield now 2-2 at Southampton here, and they've thrown away that two-goal lead at half-time.
2-1 a minute ago.
2-2 now.
That's 2 goals in a minute. Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Wow.
Oh dear.
No, seriously. There was another word.
Flicked on, looking for Akinyemi. Can't get away from his marker. Southend clear up to halfway. Picked up by Woodyard. Just looks like he's wearing a white t-shirt, Alex Woodyard.
Yeah.
It doesn't look good without the name and without the number and the white shirt on the back of it.
No, it's
Neil Ardley's water bottle placed right on the edge of his technical area, like so many managers now. There's so, if it's OCD or what it is, they have to put it in exactly the right spot on the corner thing. Had blown over, so he's had to go and pick it up.
I apologise if you've mentioned this already, but Adam Crooks hasn't got a number on either. He hasn't got a number on. Woodyard hasn't got a number on.
I didn't spot Crooks, but you're right. Crooks has got a shirt with no number on. Woodyard's got a shirt with no number on.
There's probably a little bit of blood away from.
Sorry, Ralph has got a shirt with no number on for the home team.
I've never seen a game with so many.
It's back to the olden days here.
Players, yeah.
Throw in taken by Southend down the line on halfway, far side of the ground, cleared by Callum Howe. City just haven't got going in any attacking sense at the start of this second period.
No, Southend have started again on the front foot, and City are playing that game of sort of trying to soak up any pressure. I don't think intentionally. I think it's just the way it's worked out. But all it takes is one break, one chance at the other end.
Crooks flicks it on. Akinyemi can't get there. Flicks off Scott Morris. Crooks clears for York. Down the left-hand side comes City with Amos. Towards the edge of the penalty area, cross comes in, and he has to dive on the stretch to claim. There was no one in a white shirt anywhere near him, so he was never in any danger there, unless he made a bit of a mistake as he came out to do that.
It just feels the game needs something. I include Southend in this. It does need a goal to get it moving.
I feel sorry for those York City fans behind the goal away to our right-hand side, because they've seen nothing so far in the opening exchanges this second half. The whole game, the whole 15 minutes has been played in the half that York City are defending without Sykes Kenworthy really having anything to do.
Yeah, I don't know what advice he could give them, even if he's just launched the ball up and try and turn the Southend defence at least.
He's seen enough because he's bringing on John Lewis.
Yeah.
Is Neil Ardley.
Yeah, but Dippo and Davies hasn't really worked. Do you throw on Chadwick as well and try and be attacking, or are you happy with the point, which, you know, before the game I'd have said take a point from this and 3 on Tuesday, you'd be happy, but you kind of want a better performance as well, you know. But that's coming, hopefully. It's just not here today.
It's not pretty.
No, I think that's ultimately is the thing, isn't it? We're finding a way not to get beat, but that next step has got to be we can also score goals as well, and that's what we're lacking right now as a team. Well,
they've got the best defensive record in the division. Just conceded 32 goals all season of Southend. We know York City don't particularly score many, just 40. Good ball out to Bridge on this left-hand side. Runs towards the edge of the penalty area. He's got Ralph overlapping if he wants him. Good tackle comes in from Ryan Fallowfield. Throw into the home team. Morton gets ready to take it. Listen to BBC Radio York. Roots all 0-0 between Southend United and York City. Bridge takes the throw in short. Gets it back, does Bridge. Skips past Burgess, still anonymous in the second half. Scott Burgess. Hussein on this left-hand side. He cuts infield, gets past one man, but there's too many white shirts there. City are able to clear, but straight to Kensdale. Kensdale can come forward, inside left, outside he comes out to Bridge again. Bridge, they've left their man in the middle to Hussein. Got space in the penalty area on his right foot. He's been allowed to turn, takes on the shot, all the way across face of goal. No one took a gamble at the back stick. It goes behind for a York City goal kick, but that was dangerous.
Yeah, City are going to have to do something, David, because it just feels like something's coming here, and it isn't going to be York at the moment. It's Southend who've got the front foot.
It's Will Davis that comes off for York City. The Noel John Lewis that comes on. Soaked through as Will Davis gets high five from his manager.
Yeah, he's very raw, Will Davis, you know. Hopefully his performance has improved, because I think he's putting the effort in, but we're not seeing it. He doesn't look like scoring goals, David. I don't know if that's his fault, or is it a creativity fault from behind him? Because neither does Dippo. So,
well, there's definitely an issue with creativity.
Creating chances is seemingly the problem for York City.
There is definitely. Someone very, very naughty, Ian, has just questioned whether the shirts with no numbers is because the kit man's forgotten the shirts that have got the numbers on. I don't know which game was it last year. Was it here? There was a game last year, wasn't it, where the kit man forgot?
Oh, yes. Yes. Oh.
We knew before the game that there were no replacements.
Yeah.
Southend have it, inside left. Ball over the top. I think, no, I'll tell you which game it was. You weren't there. It was the Shrewsbury away FA Cup game.
Yes, I heard you on the radio. Yes. Yeah.
We'll give the kit man a free pass, I think, on this occasion.
Yeah. Too much blood flying around.
Throw in down the line. Bridge just outside the York City penalty area. It is all Southend territory in possession.
That's a great
and a little bit
in.
of pressure. It's a really lovely ball in, but Sykes Kenworthy does well to come and gather.
Yeah, again, George Sykes Kenworthy coming to the fore. We've needed him for these crosses that have gone in. They're dangerous. Surprised actually no one challenged that one. Well, Cardwell's not been himself in there.
Cleared by Sykes Kenworthy.
And for all Southend's pressure and play and approach play, it just feels like they've not missed many chances either. You know, created any clear-cut chances.
When the ball goes downfield, John Lewis, in fact, Akinyemi can't keep it in play in front of those York City fans, and it goes behind for a goal kick. The majority of those York City fans in the seats behind the goal are all standing.
Trying to keep warm, probably.
I would have thought so. We're lucky enough here at Southend to be inside a commentary box. It's lovely and toasty warm. No coat required or hat and scarf in here today. Packed commentary box. McLaughlin goes in for the challenge. Good block from him. Ball goes into touch on halfway. And it's a throw in again to the home side. Bridge goes back to Kensdale. He can come forward into the centre circle. Listen to BBC Radio York, still 0-0. Long ball down the line, over the top on that right-hand side, looking for Harry Cardwell. Cardwell keeps it in play, gives it to Scott Morris. Cross comes in, headed away by Howe. Throw in right against the corner flag, far side of the field.
Yeah, and City again sort of hanging on a little bit. Southend had a lot of the ball in York City's half, this second half.
Coming up to the halfway mark. The second period, 0-0. It remains. Long throw from Scott Morris. Crooks, heads clear. This is a hard watch if you haven't, or if you can't tell. This second half has been a very, very hard watch. Here's Scott Morris again. Free header, Cardwell, back stick, header comes in. Great save, Sykes Kenworthy to push it round his post. Brilliant save from Sykes Kenworthy. Unmarked at the far stick was the big centre-back. Should have scored.
That's
the goal you feel is coming.
That's a fantastic save. We've mentioned George Sykes Kenworthy today. He's done everything right, but that was outstanding agility from the young lad. What a save. It's kept York City in the match for now. City have got to do something, David. This just feels like we're waiting for them to score.
Corner flicked on at the near post by Cardwell to the edge of the box to Bridge. He comes it back into the centre of the field. Kensdale's going to take the shot from 25 yards. Great block from Fallowfield, who threw himself in front of him. But the blue shirts continue to have it on this left-hand side. Comes round to Ralph. Ralph to the byline, gets past Amos. He manages to dig out a cross, but it goes behind, and that'll be a York City goal kick. 0-0.
Yeah, City going to have to affect this game in some way, shape or form, David, because right now we're just waiting. We're just waiting for Southend, because they're going to keep making chances, and George Sykes Kenworthy isn't going to save them all.
Yeah, I've just been reminded it was at Shrewsbury. We ended up playing with EFL numbers on the back of the York shirts. So of course Shrewsbury are in the EFL. And the numbers all have the little badge at the bottom of them. So it's not too long until we're playing with EFL numbers on our shirts again here.
Yes, that's the dream. That's the Holy Grail, isn't it? I'm sure the people at the club, that is their ambition. Absolutely certain of that. But right now, we're going to stay in this division, David.
This is a hard watch now, isn't it, this game?
Yeah, this has been a tough... Yeah, when you think back over the game, you're hoping that we build ourselves into it and create some opportunities. But this second half has been pretty toothless. You know, I don't want to be too harsh, because it's a tough away game. It's 0-0, you know, we'd probably take it. But you kind of just want a little bit more. Just while you're here, you want to see us create a little bit more.
Yeah, we haven't learned anything new. We know they're going to give their all. We know there's going to be a lot of fights.
Yeah, the competitive.
We're competitive.
Yeah. It's that next stage, isn't it?
Lacking in everything else. Long ball downfield. John Lewis is penalised. He's offside. That's disappointing from the York City captain, and he does have the captain's armband on.
Yep, he does.
Southend man gone down in the middle of the park. So there's going to be another hold up in play.
Well, I do apologise to the lads at Cycle Works. I did say City were going to come down here and get a 2-1 victory, but
still time.
There is still time. Yes.
Have you given up already with a quarter of the match left here?
I would
not
never,
like you.
I would never.
Glass half full.
Never give up. Don't try and turn it. But you just can't see where a City's goal going to come from. The one thing I was in the back of my head, David, and this is a little bit wishful thinking. Could Southend get a little bit complacent? Just a minute ago, they were throwing all the bodies forward because they've been encouraged on.
We know the teams aren't great at this level. Every team has a mistake in them.
Yeah, and these lads, I'm just looking at them. You know, there was all of their bodies for that corner were ahead of York City's, and you thought, well, you know, because they're probably being encouraged on. Could we hit them on the break? Could we catch them out? That's kind of what I'm hoping for right now.
He's up. He's at Cardwell.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a trot over here with the physio. He's going to have to come off for a few seconds. They're going to be down to 10 for 30 seconds here at their home team. Altrincham lead Rochdale by 2-0. That's not going to be an easy place for York City to go to in, just over a month's time on a Tuesday night. Regan Linney with that second goal for Altrincham. Free kick then for the offside. But the goalkeeper has come all the way out of his area to take. And he takes it down this left-hand side, down the line, headed away by Smith. John Lewis puts it into touch. And the referee says, no, actually, the Southend man got in front of you. York City, you can have the throw-in, which they would gratefully accept. Smith again uses his shirt to dry the ball and gets ready to take it down the line. Flicked on by John Lewis. looking for Akinyemi. Akinyemi beaten to it by Kensdale. Back to the goalkeeper, who clears long down the centre of the field onto the head of the big striker, Danny Waldron. Woodyard clears long over the top, looking for John Lewis. Can he get around the back? Goalkeeper came and got stranded in no man's land. The defender came and got there first before John Lewis. We know John Lewis doesn't have much pace these days. He got there first and he put it behind the goal for a York City corner.
Well, kind of what I was just saying a few minutes ago, David, about Southend just being a bit complacent. They pushed all the bodies forward, and John Lewis gets you one ball can crucify you. So yeah,
listen to those York City fans. They're living off scraps. They're not having much to shout about here, despite it being goalless.
Yeah.
But you can hear how much excitement there is just for a corner kick.
Yeah, they're trying their best to will their troops on, as we all are. The City could grab a goal.
I think Burgess just had his first touch of the second half, and that's to take the ball down for a corner for Amos to take. Amos takes that corner to the near stick, flicked on by John Lewis around the back. Howe off another man into the arms of the goalkeeper from Akinyemi.
Good save, good save.
Straight at him.
Yeah, but he had to save it.
He did. It was on target. The first effort on target York City have had in the second half.
Kind of got to say that is it's a chance, isn't it? We've made the keeper make a save. There's a start. Can we up the ante a little bit? Test this keeper a little bit more. City fans are certainly, they're trying their best.
Tell you what though, Ian, if you've spent 5 hours in a car or 6 hours on the train to come down and watch that one chance in this second half,
knowing you've got another 6-hour journey home.
Yeah, dearie me.
But I tell you what, if we go and score one, every one of them will be going home happy.
They will. It's so lucky though that the away day experience isn't just about the 90 minutes on the pitch.
Oh yeah, there's a lot more components than just those 90 minutes. Some would say, thankfully, at times.
Down the left-hand side, Woodyard has it for York, plays it forward. Little Nick finds its way to Akinyemi. Oh, his first touch is terrible, abysmal, you could say. Gives away possession now. Southend come forward, round the back to Waldron, edge of the penalty area. He's forced wide, gives it back to Bridge. Bridge runs at the York City defence. Bridge gets the cross in. I would not want to be Deepo Akinyemi if they score from this attack. Bridge down the left, gets the cross in, hits the back of Ryan Fallowfield. Still the blue shirts, appeals for a handball, not given, comes back to Bridge. Bridge just outside the penalty area. Bridge keep holding on to the ball. He had a chance to put a cross in, tries to, blocked, goes behind for a corner kick. Neil Adley not happy. He had 6 or 7 chances there, Bridge, to put that cross in, and he didn't want to.
Yeah, I love him. He's a really good player. He was good in those games last season. He's got that ability to sort of throw the defence one way and then come back on his other one, but I'm sure he frustrates the strikers with his
in comes the corner kick into the middle. Easy for George Sykes-Kenworthy as 2 or 3 different players end up on the turf. Sykes-Kenworthy balls it out. The home team getting ready to make a change. So too York City. Billy Chadwick will be the man to come on for York. Crooks into John Lewis, who drops deep, then turns and lays it off nicely to Fallowfield on this right-hand side. Fallowfield, ball down the line into the penalty area. He's not happy, but he didn't really give the strikers much to go for there. Over the head of Burgess, over at Deepo Akinyemi, and through to the goalkeeper.
So who's coming off, David?
Equaliser for Tottenham by the sounds of it, against Brighton in the Premier League. That's a push in the back by Cardwell on Woodyard. Free kick York City, and it's going to be a double change. Sandat's coming on for the home team, Chadwick for York City. Coming off, the 4th official turns his board around, and he hasn't, so no one in this stand has seen what's going on. Now he eventually does. He comes on for Waldron, to Danny Waldron, his first start for the club since that move from Rushall Olympic. And it's Sandat who comes on. He's here in his 2nd spell. He's on loan from Hull City.
Could be Scott Burgess coming off, would it?
Has to be.
Yeah, it is actually. Yeah, it's just putting the numbers in. I think it says 20.
Yeah, he's having issues with the board down here as the 4th official.
Unless he changes it. No, he's Scott
4th
Burgess.
official school. They still haven't worked out to use these boards, have they? Up and down the country, week after week.
Yeah, you'd think you'd just be pressing the numbers, wouldn't you?
It is Scott Burgess that comes off, and it's Billy Chadwick that comes on.
Well, we could do with Billy Chadwick producing here, David, because I big him up, and that is he's got a lot of talent. He just needs to. We need to almost burst onto this York City scene after the games he's had for 4 or 5.
It's his 5th appearance. Dagenham have got a 6th against Oxford. 6-1. Free kick taken by York. Header from Howe across this near side. I'm not sure what he saw there. He's got it all wrong, and it's picked up by Bridge, and then Bridge is fouled by Woodyard. Right in front of those York City fans again.
With it, mate.
And it's going to be a free kick to the home team when they get the ball back. It is still very much goalless between Southend United and York City on BBC Radio York. We've had livelier Saturday afternoons here.
Not many.
The goalkeeper continuing the sloppy passage of players, put that free kick straight into touch for a York City throw.
I think you put it right, David. You know, this is still the same struggling team from the start of the season that Neil Adler's working with. It is. He has definitely made us stronger and tougher to beat. The stages, and the next stage is clearly going to be, hey, how can we create more?
They don't create more still.
Oh, yeah, of course
we are
have,
5 months in now.
Yeah, but it's... Yeah.
Chadwick comes forward in the centre of the field, tries to lay it out wide left, but he's asked far too much of Amos there.
Yeah.
Into touch it goes for a York City throw-in.
Yeah, I think it's a process you've got to go through, but that's the toughest part of football, David. Everyone will tell you, defending, it sets your foundations, but creating and scoring goals, that's where the big money is, and that's the toughest part of football, is putting the ball in the back of the net, and that's a process City are going to have to find.
Crooks forward to Akinyemi, back to goal, holds his man off well, gives it to Chadwick, tackle comes in on Chadwick, City lose possession.
Yeah. Need
the
more
story of the game.
Chadwick there.
Southend have it again at the back into midfield. A gaping hole there in the centre of the park. Southend now they're going to come forward and spread it across this left-hand side over halfway with Miley. Plays it forward to Hassan. Hassan tries to lay it down the line for Bridge. He can't get there. Intercepted. Throw in. Level with the edge of that York City penalty area. 0-0.
Yeah, a lot of the opposition side seem to be more creative. You know, even the poorer ones can create chances. And like I say, this side is going through a process where it's become stronger and tougher to beat, but it needs to be better.
Oh, Franz Bridge, a little reverse ball. Bridge into the penalty area on that right front of the penalty area. Oh, there's a little shove on him by Will Smith. He goes to ground looking for the penalty. Referee gives nothing. Shot comes in, loops off the defender into the arms of Sykes Kenworthy.
Do you know what, Bridge? He stayed on his feet there. He stayed on. He was clipped a little bit by Smith.
And then he
maybe not enough.
But he was about to go to ground.
Yeah, too late. If he goes down first thing, that'll be a tester for the ref.
They've got more room again this left-hand side. Edge of the York City penalty area, square ball, and all he does is pick out a white shirt. Eastleigh have got to go back against Files. 2-1 now. City come forward down the left-hand side with Akinyemi. Akinyemi needs a bit of help over that far side. He goes into midfield. Terrible pass from Akinyemi. Just gives away possession. McLaughlin does amazingly well to win it back for York City. What was that all about here?
Just lack of concentration. You know, it isn't quality. We know he's got quality, so that ball can only be a lack of concentration.
York City win a throw-in halfway inside the Southend half, far side of the field.
That was a classic hospital ball. And, McLaughlin did it ever so well.
Just bizarre. I don't know, he must have been thinking something else, 2 or 3 passes ahead of what he was going to do after he'd passed it. Sheffield United got a third at Luton, 3-1.
Wow, that's a
Woodyard from the throw-in. Cross comes into the box, cleared at the near stick. It wasn't a great ball in by Amos. That's a poor ball forward from Southend, otherwise they could have been in trouble because it was 2-on-2 temporarily there at the back for York City. They play it back to Sykes Kenworthy, who clears long, looking for Fallowfield, who's pushed forward. John Lewis puts pressure on the man. It falls kindly for Akinyemi, centre of the field, 25 yards out from goal. Thinks about having a shot, can't get it out of his feet. Goes to Chadwick. Oh, Chadwick's touch terrible again. Lets him down. He hasn't got up to the pace of this game yet, Billy Chadwick. I think that's 3 touches, 3 times he's given away possession. Now Southend come forward on the far side. This must be the hardest year of Neil Ardley's managerial career as well, when he's used to being at the top end of not just this division, but when he's been in the Football League as well with Wimbledon, to watch his side struggling and not being able to really put any real clear passage to play together. What style do we want York City to play? We're still not sure about it, are we?
Yeah.
It must be really difficult. I bet he can't wait to the end of the season and he gets to have a proper reset in the summer.
That's the challenge for him, isn't it? He's got to somehow imprint his style of play on players that maybe some of them can't.
Southend burst forward up towards the edge of the penalty area, and they've played it through. 1-on-1, Southend are going to score. Got past Sykes Kenworthy, and he's tried to square it instead of shooting. He was 1-on-1. All he had to do was pass it into an empty net, past Sykes Kenworthy, and he tried to pull it back for a tap in for someone else on that far side of the ground, and trying to see who it was. I think it might be Adam Crowther, the centre back, on his debut. Again, it's a centre back, a defender who's gone forward. He's got in front of goal, and he's made an absolute Horlicks of it, to the delight of York City. Yeah,
it's fantastic play. Let's not, it's fantastic play from Southend, but I think they just tried to be too nice, too precise. Ultimately, if he pulls it back and the lad puts it in the back of the net, it is a fantastic goal, but I'm sure you have a pop yourself there, don't you?
On your debut.
You're 1-on-1 with the keeper, just slide it under him. Easy from here, but...
former Kings Lynn man, but that's a bad miss.
Yeah, they've cut through City. Too easily there. That's a little another little warning for City. They've got to be on the toes.
Akinyemi slow getting back on side, so he can't go towards the ball as City clear their lines. Howe clears over the top. Now Akinyemi can try and run if he's going to get there before the goalkeeper. No, goalkeeper comes to the edge of his D and cleans everyone out, really.
Oh no,
Oh, now City gone sleep again. They've won it on that far side. Down to Scott Morris from Cardwell. Scott Morris, good play from Amos, gets across, reads the danger well, and puts it into touch for a throw in near the corner flag. Still 0-0.
It was his initial touch that put City in trouble there, Danny Amos, but then he's managed to work himself back into position to thwart the attack.
Second Brentford goal at Molineux. Ivan Toney. His second goal since coming back from his long ban.
Scores goals.
There's going to be in that England squad, you would have thought, in the summer.
There's got to be a chance, hasn't there?
It's got to be. He was in before he got the ban.
Yeah.
Long throw into the York City penalty area. City's trying to clear to the far side. That's a good header clear by, who's that over there? McLaughlin, I think it is.
Again. Yeah. A good game, Paddy.
To the right-hand side, Southend have it. At the back, on this left now. Long ball forward from Morton. Diagonal ball. Can they keep it in play that far side? No, they can't. It goes behind. And it's a York City goal kick. It remains Southend United 0, York City 0, and we have 9 minutes plus injury time remaining at Roots Hall. Remember, they haven't drawn a game here all season. There have been goals in every single league game here, but there are no goals currently as Liverpool get a third at Anfield against Burnley. Fulham have a third. I don't know if I missed that or not, if we gave that out before. They lead Bournemouth 3-1 at Craven Cottage. Sykes Kenworthy gets ready to clear. They're going to make another substitution in a second. It's going to be Dackers, the striker that's about to come on here for the home side. Marcus Dackers, he's on loan from Salford City. City have it with John Lewis, but he's tackled and loses possession. Southend clear down this left-hand side onto the chest of Will Smith. He's beaten to it. Throw in to the home team. Bridge just can't collect it off the ball boy. That's going to slow the pace down, and now they will make that change. Dackers comes on, coming off his number, James Morton, 23. So Morton, the central midfielder, goes off. Dackers comes on, the striker, an attacking change. As they come forward to Southend, again, City give away a silly free kick. Not sure if it was McLaughlin or Woodyard, not far from the edge of the penalty area. They've taken it quickly of Southend, down this left-hand side to Bridge. Bridge is going to run at Fallowfield. Chadwick comes out to help him. Comes back into midfield to Miley. Miley again just outside the edge of the penalty area. Back to Bridge, they're in their own game. Bridge puts the cross in, flicks off the head of Smith. City going to be able to clear their lines. It falls to McLaughlin. He gives it to Amos. But Dan Batty about to come on for York City. The return of Dan Batty, missing since the FA Cup replay when at Needham Market in the middle of October. He's about to play, what? There's 7 minutes left here plus injury time. Next time the ball goes out of play, the central midfielder will be coming on. Maybe a sign that we hold what we've got. Southend give away possession. John Lewis lays it off to Chadwick, finds McLaughlin with a nice square ball. He can come forward to the centre circle. Well, he gives away possession cheaply.
Just run out of legs there, just run out of legs.
And now they come forward down this left-hand side. Good tackle from Smith. Got there just before Bridge. He's not happy, Kevin Marr, the Southend manager, trying to encourage his team forward. Smith, long ball forward, looking for Chadwick. Defender comes across, puts it into touch for a throw into York, and now Dan Batty will come on. And he will come on for Who's he coming on for? Is it Will Smith?
No, surely not.
No, it's not. He's going to take the throw in, is Will Smith.
Deepo.
It's for Dipo Akinyemi, which I think tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah, do you know, we've sort of hung on in here until what, we're in the 81st, 82nd minute? Oh.
80, there's 6 left, 84th minute.
Yeah. Maybe tying it up and let's take the point and go back up north with a point. There's just signs that City or Southend a little bit maybe frustrated with themselves. They've had a lot of the ball, they've had a couple of half chances, but they've not managed to break York City down.
But this has been really poor second half from City.
Yeah, it has, but they've hung on in there. You know, it's still 0-0 somehow.
Yeah, poor going forward, I should say.
Yeah. So
they've defended solidly.
Yeah, exactly. So they've hung on in there, and they're going into this last 6 minutes.
And if they sneak it, it's a perfect away performance.
Anything can happen.
So Smith, long throw, level with the edge of the penalty area, and it comes now. Free header clear by Bridge. He gets there. Woodyard. Woodyard almost trips over the ball, but he manages to keep it just about, and he's thinking about going back to his defence, but the pass was cut out. Said he had to give it to Chadwick to Fallowfield. Ian's not happy because he feels as though they're dicing with a bit of death here, a bit of danger. City, the other options available, and they kept passing it backwards.
Yeah,
and now it's gone from one goalkeeper to the other. That will frustrate the life out of the York City fans.
Batty looked up. Howe was there. Dink it up to him. He's good in the air, you know, he wins the ball. But
still goalless as well on DAB, I think, because between Harrogate and Colchester. So it's been a thrilling afternoon all round. Well, to come on Tuesday night, everybody, when Dorking come to the LNER. You've enjoyed the trip out though, haven't you, Ian?
It's been a good day. Good day, David.
Ralph comes forward on this near side. Tackle comes in on him by Chadwick, gives away possession. Oh, sorry, it's Batty. To Bridge, near the corner flag. Bridge, back to Sandat. He puts the cross into box. Good header clear under pressure from Crooks. John Lewis on his heels. Wasn't reading the game, daydreaming. Lets the man get in front of him. Into the box, cross comes in. Cleared by Smith. What was John Lewis? Again, he's daydreaming, is John Lewis. And then he fouls the Southend man, but they've got the ball, so he lets the play. What's he doing, John Lewis?
Just not on his toes, he's on his heels.
Twice, within about 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Miley. Little ball to Sandat, lays it off around the corner to Bridge, near the corner flag, still 0-0, another cross, still want to put the cross in, that right foot goes down the line, puts it in left-footed, headed clear by Will Smith, who must be a contender for York City's man of the match once again this afternoon. John Lewis tries to play it down the line, off the back of the Southend man, and he goes into touch for a York City throw-in.
He's giving it to South.
No, he's giving it to York. He's giving it to York, and they're getting the move on. City aren't.
City taking the time.
Yeah, they aren't in any rush to come across. The fourth official's telling Neil Ardley to get back in your box. It remains goalless. Just missed the attendance. We can't hear the public address announcements in our commentary box here. Throw in down the line by Smith. Headed away by Southend, falls to Batty in midfield. Tackle comes in, good play around the corner from Chadwick to give it to McLaughlin. Space now on the left-hand side for Amos. Middle of the field, he gives it to Batty, 25 yards away from goal. Applause you can hear is for the York City fans that have travelled from the Southend fans. John Lewis on the edge of the penalty area, controls it well, John Lewis, then takes a swing at it, got it all wrong, passed it across the face of the penalty area, 90 degrees away from where he was aiming for, I think. And Southend clear, but only as far as McLaughlin, far side of the field. He gets it from Amos. McLaughlin, again, who's been steady away in there again, in the centre of the midfield for York. Crooks, long ball down the line, headed away. Not a good header clear, only as far as Chadwick from the centre-back Kensal. That's a good through ball, but it almost set Ryan Fallowfield around this right-hand side, and it was a great sliding tackle from Bridge, who got back in there to cut it out.
Pushing on.
To Smith, just outside the box. Deep cross in the box. Smith, too deep, put behind York City corner. Scott Morris.
Panicky from Southend. This is it, they've had a lot of the game, but it's still 0-0.
Dagenham have got a 7th against Oxford City. When will be the next time York City score 7?
Not many teams get 7, to be fair. That's a hammering, isn't it?
So Joffrey's hat-trick. So corner kick, far side, York City, their second corner this second half.
I would take one right now, David.
Oh yeah, big time.
This would, yeah. A classic snaps and grab.
It would be. Corner kick then, far side. Amos takes it, drills it in deep.
He's in,
How free header, good save goalkeeper, bit of a scramble shot. Yes! York City, the late night show. It could be back in town. It's travelled down to Essex. John Lewis with the finish on the volley. 4 minutes to go. City have stolen it. They lead by 1-0.
If you hang on in a game, David, I don't want to say I told you so, but if you hang on into a game where it hasn't been pretty, it really hasn't been pretty, but it was 0-0 with 6 minutes left to go. It felt like Southend were frustrated. They hadn't really knocked the door in of York City. And look what happens. We go up the field, great corner, and it's a bit scrappy in the box there, but City, well, I'm trying to catch my breath there because we're winning. That could be such an important goal, David. That is so important. City have dug in here. It's not been pretty. No one here would tell you it would. It has been. But they hung on in there, and they've got potentially a winning goal.
The 89th minute, we're into the 90th minute now, and John Lewis has buried that on the volley. To be fair, he couldn't miss 4 yards out. They fell asleep from the corner to Southend to give Callum Howe a free header at the back stick for him to nod back across goal. Then there was the scramble. It fell kindly to John Lewis, and the goal that we thought was never going to come this afternoon, it has come, and York City lead.
Yeah, unbelievable, unbelievable. That's the beauty of being hard to beat, though. You know, it hasn't been pretty, but we've been hard to beat. Can we hang on now, though? Now we need to be really hard to beat.
Miley, centre of the field. 10 seconds of normal time remain, plus injury time. We said there'd never been a goalless draw here all season. There won't be today. There's going to be 5 minutes of injury time as the board is shown now. Into injury time we go. Boy, do those York City fans in that far corner of the ground enjoy that when those York City players raced across to celebrate right in front of them.
Absolutely overjoyed for those people down there because they've had to watch it's been a tough watch. But they've watched the team stick in there and they've watched the team take the lead in the last minute. Oh, my word.
It's been a really tough watch, Ian.
Yes.
Probably one of the toughest watches of their season.
Yeah.
It's been really, really poor. But they are leading. Southend have a long throw into that York City penalty area. Headed near post by Howe to John Lewis. He gives away possession. Cross comes back in again from Scott Morris. The edge of the box to this far stick to Bridge. Got to show him away from that right foot, and it comes across deep on. Headed Amos, it's the post, and it's cleared. It's going to fall to Amos. City are going to get away with it. There was a mixture of Woodyard and the post, but I'm sure it hit the woodwork, and City clear their lines, and it goes all the way down to the other end of the field.
Yeah, Southend have had some sort of semi-decent chances, and that's another one gone a-begging. They haven't sealed the deal here against York City. They haven't managed to score. And City live to fight another day here.
Halifax have got a third at Dorking. That's the result that's going York City's way. Max Wright with that third goal for the West Yorkshire side. Southend come forward again down their right. They've got past Amos. Scott Morris. Cross comes into the box, cut out the near post by Crooks, and then there's a late tackle by Amos on Scott Morris, and he's going to the referee's notebook, and the referee's given a free kick in a really dangerous position.
Yeah. See, you've got to defend for their lives here, David, because it will make it all worthwhile. All the previous 89 minutes will suddenly become worthwhile on that trip back up to York if City can somehow hang on here and take the points. My word, he's big, isn't he, Dackers?
He's a big lad, he came on.
It's huge. And I'm amazed that Woodyard's marking him. Surely, oh no, Adam Crooks is marking him. He's a big lad. City have got to defend it, David. Absolutely must.
Just outside the penalty area, right hand side. Free kick about to come in. Everyone lines up at the edge of the 6-yard box. Remember, City lead by a goal to nil, and it comes now. It's a deep one. Good header clear by York City, and there's a foul in there, pulling in the shirt of Will Smith. He gets the big high fives. Free kick to York City, and the York City goalkeeper George Sykes-Kenworthy decides this is the time to go and have a drink in the back of my net, and he's risking a yellow card too.
And City fans are waving.
City fans are all waving at Southend fans because there's a big queue of them heading for the exit gate here to our right hand side, and the York City fans are all on their feet, all giving him the Cheerios.
Yeah. I mean, listen, Southend have had a lot of pressure. They're pretty on the eye, but
just the one clear cut chance.
Yeah, other than that, not much, you know.
Batty sends it forward for York City. Kensdale gets there before Chadwick, gives it back to his goalkeeper, who clears first time. Oh yeah, Southend haven't been great. Don't get me wrong.
No.
It's been pretty dull for the majority of this game, especially the second half. But it's been lit up by one bit of quality from the corner kick, a decent delivery.
Yeah, and you know Callum Howe's going to win the percentage a higher percentage of those challenges.
In acres of space. It was terrible defending, to be honest. If it was the other way around, would be really lamenting the York City defending from set pieces again. Tackle comes in the middle of the park. He wins the ball. Good tackle from Batty. Batty can come forward. He's heading for the corner flag. It's Dan Batty. We've played 3.5 minutes of the 5 minutes. It's going to be more, though. Batty held up near the corner flag. Back to goal. Batty still holding on to it. Then there's a shove in the back. Free kick York City. Silly defending from the home team.
That's brilliant play from Dan Batty, though. He has run from the halfway line straight for the corner flag, as you would hope he did. And he's won his team a free kick.
All we need him to do now from the free kick is to turn around and kick it out the ground in the opposite direction.
Well, kick it towards London.
Like at Dagenham.
If it lands on the top of the Shard, we're quite happy.
Some kick. We're still up distance from the Shard here. I know your geography is not your greatest point, especially in and around the capital, where you get lost. You don't have a clue what you're doing.
Well, just over the stand will be quite enough.
And Harrogate have got the late goal as well. They lead Colchester by a goal to nil. Jack Muldoon, yet again with that goal. City take the free kick short to John Lewis. Now Chadwick. John Lewis just kept in play by Southend near the corner flag, but they can't get out. York City win the throw-in to the delight and the cheers of their supporters over there. 40 seconds to go. They lead by a goal to nil. John Lewis in the 89th minute giving York City the lead. City claiming they didn't realise it was their throw-in, so everyone walks away. Then Billy Chadwick's told to go and take the throw-in by the referee. He takes it short to Batty. Who's it go behind off? Oh, the City wanted the corner. Batty wanted the corner.
He's not getting back
but he's
in.
going to get a yellow card. It's Dan Batty. The referee says no. Or the linesman, to be fair, says no. That's a goal kick.
Yeah, get back in, Dan Batty. Get back in. Southend are going to throw everything forward, you'd imagine.
And it goes long to the head of Dackers. He misses it. Sykes Kenworth is going to come and clear for York City. Or gather for York City. And he does, under pressure from Cardwell. He picks it up. We've played the 5 minutes. We're just playing whatever else the referee adds on. He looks at both of his watches. He's talking to Alex Woodyard. City are going to steal all 3 points down here in Essex.
We'll take them any which way they can.
There is the final whistle. York City do get the win. Handshakes between the players, handshakes between the two management teams. How have York City come away with 3 points from that game? It took one decent delivery from a set piece in the 89th minute, a corner on the far side of the ground, a free header from Callum Howe back across goal. There was a scramble, it fell kindly for the big man John Lewis, and he buried the volley into the back of the net. City go home triumphant. They win 1-0.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Do you know what, City? It wasn't pretty. They're not going to say it was. It wasn't. But I tell you what, they had a game plan. That was don't get beat today. We'd have all took a point. I'd have took a point before the game, and it turned out that way. It was not a very pretty match at all. But they hung on in there, and that last 5 or 10 minutes, you kind of had a feeling that, hey, hold on, Southend have maybe run out of ideas here. They've maybe run out of, ambition. And true enough, football has that happy knack of the team that just hangs on in there, goes up the field, and takes the one chance that they actually create during the afternoon and wins the points. This is a massive win for York City, David, because we've got talking on Tuesday night. That becomes huge now, and City have given themselves a real chance to sort of make themselves a little bit safer over the next couple of weeks. But fantastic win. Not a great performance. No one's going to kid anybody on. But I tell you what, it was full of guts, determination, and determination not to get beat. And they've gone and won the points. Unbelievable.
It is unbelievable. They've done it yet again, Sharon. Another late goal sees them snatch 2 points. They get all 3 to come back to North Yorkshire. They're going to be absolutely delighted. And we will hear from York City manager Neil Ardley, I would have thought, in the next 15 to 20 minutes live here on BBC Radio York.
Thanks, David. Thanks, Ian. I can tell you as well that the full-time whistle has just this second gone at the Envirovent Stadium as well. Same story there. A late goal from Jack Muldoon, snatching all 3 points for Harrogate Town against Colchester. So Town win 1-0. We will get the latest from Tim Steer very shortly. But a 1-0 win this afternoon for York City. Tell us what you thought. 81333 is the number that you need on the text. Start your message, please, with the word York. Tweet us at BBC York Sport, or you can contact us on WhatsApp 08000 321 333. Please start your message with the word York and pop your name on them as well.